to avoid any accountability with the Jeffrey Epstein incident. And if you don't know, Cole's note that there was a minute missing from the tape. I think a whistleblower put the metadata in, but the metadata says that the tape was tampered with in Adobe Premiere. That's why I think they left it in there on purpose. I don't know why the FBI would just leave something like that. Seems really lazy, unless it was a tip-off for us to know. But this isn't about Jeffrey Epstein, but it's still about the FBI. Like I said, they'll avoid any accountability. I just thought the Jeffrey Epstein thing was crazy. I think both parties were obviously involved, the Republicans and the Democrat, because we're being gaslit worse than we've ever been gaslit in my lifetime, at least. They said there's a list. Now they're saying there's no list. Now they're telling us not to talk about it anymore. They're deflecting the question. It's something that we shouldn't hold lightly or forget about. So now the FBI is targeting gamers, because obviously they don't want to deal with the Jeffrey Epstein thing, people that need to be held accountable for those crimes. They're targeting gamers. Right now they shut down a bunch of websites that they say they shut down about 3.2 million illicit video games, resulting in damages worth $170 million. That seems like a good use of their time, targeting emulators websites, which I don't think that number, I think they're throwing that number out as a scare, because just because people are emulating doesn't mean that, one, they were going to buy the game anyways, and two, it could be a game that they already own. Now there's this big movement where if buying isn't owning, then pirating isn't stealing, and I think that was a good way to clap back, because really consumers want convenience. Netflix came in and piracy went down because it's convenient. Now there's all these streaming sites that are getting too expensive, piracy's up. If I went to sell my PS3, I'm going to sell it with all the games because a PS4 and PS5 can't play those games. They're not backwards compatible. That's not consumer friendly. Do you think people are going to buy those games again? No, they're just going to emulate them. So that's just lack of convenience and lack of caring for your consumer why people are pirating. And no, I don't think if you had all these things in place, piracy would just disappear. I think it would still be there. But the more convenient it is for people, the less that they're going to pirate. And then there's the quality. A lot of games are turning out to be just shit. So people are probably going to pirate them because they don't want to waste the money. And now with the game prices going up, they're more likely to pirate even more out of affordability. So that kind of does go back to the convenience aspect. So I think really this is why it's going in place. I think this is a big waste of their time. I don't think these people are going to buy the game anyways. I'm sure there are some losses. There's probably people pirating stuff that they would pay for or should pay for. But these emulated games shouldn't be running better than the way that devs make them anyways. Your paid guys shouldn't be doing better than people that are doing this stuff for a hobby. But the people who are doing this stuff for a hobby are doing it with love and care. And sometimes these emulated stuff just turns out better, or the mods turn out better than the real deal. I think that's why it's happening. Anyways, I thought this was a colossal waste of the government's time to go after these sites, but they are. And I get that there's different task force for different things, but I think there's definitely bigger things at hand and bigger fishes to fry. Again, the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing, just tell us what's going on with that. That's it. I think this is a big reminder for that. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all. See ya.